Welcome back to Tu Diep channel. Tu Diep was surprised to receive a wonderful gift from Jame, which was the dog HaKi returning to her. Are you looking forward to this wonderful thing? And what could be more wonderful if Jame and Tu Diep's hearts were connected again like before? Do you have anything to say to them? It was a peaceful morning, the kind that seemed to stretch time itself. The sun had just started to rise, casting golden and copper hues across the quiet countryside. On a small, humble farm nestled between fields and trees, the scent of damp earth, freshly cut grass, and life itself floated in the air. Diep, her hair neatly braided and her linen shirt sleeves rolled up, was busy stacking hay behind the barn. Chickens clucked nearby, and goats played lazily in the pens. Then it happened. A bark rang out, not just any bark. It was a sound so familiar that it stopped her breath. Her heart skipped a beat. Am I imagining things? She whispered to herself. Then came another bark. Louder this time. Clearer. Then the sound of small paws running along the dirt road. She dropped the hay in her hands and ran out of the barn, her heart pounding like thunder. As she reached the old wooden gate, she saw him, Bon, her dog, thin, dusty, his fur matted from who knows what, but unmistakably him. Her voice cracked as she cried out his name. Bon saw her, whimpered joyfully, and ran straight into her arms, tail wagging furiously. Diep fell to her knees in the dirt and hugged him tightly, crying openly now, not caring about the dust or the tears or anything else. I thought I lost you forever, she sobbed, her hands trembling as she stroked his back. Bon licked her cheeks, wagged his tail, rolled over on the ground, and let out soft barks, as if he, too, had so much to tell her about the month he had been gone. He had disappeared without a trace, and she had searched endlessly, through the fields, down every village road, knocking on doors, hanging posters, crying alone in the stillness of countless nights. But nothing. Until now. The sky stretched above them in a perfect blue, with clouds like cotton ships sailing by. Birds chirped gently in the background. Diep stood up with Bon still in her arms, her face streaked with tears and laughter. The moment felt frozen in time, like a miracle dropped quietly into the middle of an ordinary morning. Then came a thought, a powerful, urgent impulse. James. He had been by her side through everything. He had walked with her through heartbreak, brought warm meals to the porch when she couldn't bring herself to eat, sat with her in silence when words were too heavy. He never gave up hope. He had to know that Bon was back. She reached for her phone, only to remember, it was broken. It had stopped working weeks ago. And with the farm to tend to and money always tight, buying a new one had slipped further and further down the list of priorities. She sighed. There was no other way. Without a second thought, she walked to the gate, looked down at Bon, and smiled. Come on, buddy. Let's go tell our friend the good news. The road to James's house was long and sun-drenched, more than 3 kilometers with no shade. But Diep didn't feel the heat. Her steps were light, as if joy itself carried her forward. Bon trotted beside her, tongue lolling, occasionally glancing up at her with shared excitement. As they walked, she thought of all the times James had been there when she broke down. She remembered how he never said much, but always showed up, like a lighthouse in a storm. And now, she couldn't wait to see his face when he saw Bon again. When they finally rounded the last bend, James's cottage came into view, surrounded by a garden bursting with lavender and wild roses. He was out front watering his plants, unaware of the surprise headed his way. Diep called out from afar, James, look who's home. He squinted into the sun, first seeing her disheveled figure walking briskly toward him. Then he saw Bon. His face lit up with disbelief and wonder. He dropped the hose and walked forward, eyes wide. No way, he said with a stunned laugh. Is that really Bon? Diep nodded, her eyes shining. He's back. I didn't have a phone, so I walked. I had to tell you in person. This isn't just my moment. It's yours too. James looked at her, silent for a few seconds. His gaze was full of gratitude. Yes, but also something deeper. A tenderness that had grown quietly, day by day, over shared silences, countryside walks, and quiet companionship. Without a word, he turned and went inside. When he came back, he held a small box wrapped in a green ribbon. For you, he said simply. Diep looked at him, surprised, as she slowly untied the ribbon. Inside was a new phone. Simple but elegant, with a cream-colored case that looked like it had been picked just for her. You didn't have to, she started, overwhelmed. But he gently interrupted her. I don't want you walking 3 kilometers in the sun every time something important happens. I want us to stay connected. And today deserves a gift. She looked down at the phone, her fingers gently brushing its smooth surface. But it wasn't the device that moved her, it was what it meant. Care, presence, a quiet promise that she wasn't alone. Thank you, James, she whispered. Not just for this, but for always being there. He smiled, that calm, grounding smile that always made her feel safe. I think Bon just gave us the perfect excuse to start again. Or maybe, to continue, but with more light. They sat together under the big tree in his garden. Bon curled up between them, content and peaceful. The sky was painted in soft shades of orange and pink as the sun began to set, and the evening breeze carried the scent of flowers and hope. In that quiet corner of the world, with no one watching but the wind and the sky, something changed, not loudly, not suddenly, but deeply. A reunion, a gift, and perhaps the beginning of something more.